Junior Day this weekend for Alabama Crimson Tide. Bone, sprinkle some names in. Of course, you can get the full scoop. Communicate with Bone back on Bama Insider. Give us a taste of what's going on in Tuscaloosa this weekend.
Yeah, so Alabama's going to have their first junior day this weekend. They're going to have, they're going to be kind of small. These junior days aren't really,
Mhm.
they used to be these huge events where you'd bring in, 150, 200 kids, and you know, 20 of them are guys that you actually are recruiting and that you want. And I think you just bring in all these other guys just to say you had 150 kids on campus that weekend. So, Alabama likes to do it, really small. I think this weekend is going to be probably the smallest group. I mean, I would be surprised if there's more than 20 kids total on campus, and a lot of them aren't going to be your major targets. There's going to be major targets on campus, but it's not going to everybody that's going to be there is not going to be a top priority recruit this year. A lot of these junior days are getting to know you, sitting down with you. Yeah, this is going to be your recruiting coach for the year. This is what Alabama has to offer you. We're going to talk to you a little bit about, or not talk to you, but educate you on, NIL, the do's and don'ts of NIL. We're going to, let you tour the campus, see the facilities, meet with your position coaches, and most of these kids, if there's time, they're going to have an opportunity to sit down with Coach Saban, especially the guys who may already have offers. There's going to be guys who are going to earn offers during their visit. Not all of them can commit. You still got to get seen throughout the spring, maybe during the summer camp. But if you're invited to Junior Day, you've pretty much been identified as a guy that Alabama likes, that they want to evaluate, that they want to continue to recruit and show interest in. But a lot of times, we're going to see a lot of big name guys. One of the top running backs on Alabama's recruiting board. And he's listed as an athlete, but Daniel Hill out of Meridian High School in Mississippi, he'll be back in Tuscaloosa. He was actually at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans watching the game. So this is definitely a guy that has high interest in Alabama. Alabama's been very interested in him since he camped in Tuscaloosa last summer. Messiah Bennett, who's an athlete out of Greenville High School in South Carolina, he's also going to be in town. Texas A&M defensive line commit Dalen Evans will also be making a trip to Tuscaloosa. And another big name that's going to be on campus is Arian Hampton, a defensive back athlete out of Texas, former Texas commitment, but has shown a lot of interest in Alabama. Camped in Alabama with the Crimson Tide last summer, earned an offer, and he's going to be back in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. So we'll see some more guys. We got some more guys on the list on the Alabama on Bama Insider. You go to Bama Insider, go to Talk of Champions. We got the complete list of Junior Day visitors. Sterling Dixon. I'll throw that out there just because he's an Alabama commitment, top 100 edge rusher from Mobile Christian. He'll also be in town. Still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with Justin Rogers, former Kentucky, or I guess you call him Kentucky defensive line transfer. Visited LSU last week, visited Auburn over the weekend. There's some talk that he might visit Alabama this week. Now, we confirmed with Justin during, I guess it was during sometime on Monday, that he was going to visit Alabama this weekend, but there is a chance that he might end up not visiting. So we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there. One of those things where I think Alabama likes them. They want to bring them in, kind of just, really decide if they're really going to make a big push for them. But, there's some other schools, like I mentioned, LSU, Auburn, really making a hard push for him, potentially go ahead and make a decision for the weekend, which could happen. So, I think that that's a possibility. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens with Justin Rogers over the course of the next, 24 hours or so. But, it's going to be interesting to kind of see what happens with the transfer portal this year, because Alabama has already taken one transfer portal target in C.J. Dupree. And C.J. Dupree's really the only guy that they've offered from the transfer portal so far. Everybody keeps saying, you need to go after this guy, or you need to go after that guy. They're not going to go after anybody that they don't feel like can come in and make a big contribution or start right away. They're going to go after transfer portal guys because of a big need at those positions.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people have asked me about quarterback. Is Alabama going to go after a quarterback? They're not going to go after a quarterback just to go after a quarterback. It's got to be somebody
Mhm.
pretty freaking special that has a chance to potentially start next year, or at least really provide great competition to the guys who are there now. And I don't think there's anybody in the portal or they've seen anybody yet who fits that bill. Offensive line. People keep saying, and we get it. I mean, I think there's 12 returning offensive linemen, so everybody thinks that you need more offensive line help. Once again, you're not going to go after somebody just to come in and sit the bench and to provide depth. You want to go after somebody that can come in and make a big contribution. From what I've been told, there's nobody yet at the offensive line position that they're really that interested in, or bringing in for or going to bring in for a visit just yet. So we'll kind of wait and see if anything potentially changes. But as of right now, it's pretty slow on the transfer portal front, just because there's a lot of guys that are going to be returning at at positions where you don't necessarily need to bring in a transfer portal guy. But we'll see. I mean, I think Alabama is definitely keeping their eyes open. If somebody is really good that enters the portal, they're potentially going to go after them. But nobody right now that they're really prioritizing or saying this is a must get guy for us. We got to bring him in. We got to get him signed. We got to get him on the team. I don't think that's necessarily the case with anybody. They'd like to bring in Justin Rogers this weekend just to see him, spend time with him, get to know him a little bit better. I mean, this is a guy who's been at Kentucky for the last 3 years. Staff met him a couple times back when he was in high school. So you watch film on them, but you also want to bring these guys in and kind of see if they're going to mesh well with your program. They're going to gel with the coaches, gel with the players, and kind of sit down with them and figure out, is this a guy that we want to take? Because they did that with CJ Dupree. They felt like this was a guy that we like a lot, but we got to get him on campus. We got to spend time with him, and then we'll decide if we're going to offer him. Got him on campus, offered him. I think the last day that he was there, he ends up committing. So that's kind of the thing with with transfers, unless it's somebody like this guy's not coming to Alabama. But if it was somebody like a Drake May, then that guy's going to have a scholarship offer. But most of these other positions, it's kind of up in the air until you actually come to campus, visit, and meet with the coaching staff.
Hey, what's good, fam? It's Kyle Henderson. Thank you very much for watching this video. Check out our other related content right here on Bama Insider. Be sure and like and subscribe, inching closer to 100,000 subscribers right here on Bama Insider.